Tara Loew. She's with us this morning. Tara, good morning.
Good morning. How is everybody this morning?
We are just fabulously well here in Indiana, PA. Our conversation brought to you by Marcus and Maca Law Firm representing injured people. Tara is the director of the Apprenticeship and Training Office within the State Department of Labor and Industry. Tara, that sounds very impressive. Is that a big kick in office here? I know that it's been really busy for you this morning.
It has been very busy this morning, and it's really been busy the past few months, to be honest with you. For good reason. I think there's a renewed interest in registered apprenticeship and pre-apprenticeship, and I'm a little biased, but I really do think it's the flagship training model for Pennsylvanians. And because it's a learn-as-you-earn model, I also think that it very well could be a large contributing factor to kind of continuing to improve the economy.
Yeah, well, Tara, we're hearing, of course, that from the folks we talk with CareerLink every Friday, and from others, that there is just a world of opportunity in a number of different fields, and that's where your office comes in. What is the Apprenticeship and Training Office? What do you do?
Sure. So we are actually charged with overseeing all policy and program development for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania related to registered apprenticeship and pre-apprenticeship. And if you don't mind, I do want to take just a second to define registered apprenticeship because you hear it often, especially now. You know, I'm talking about it being a flagship model, but even the people that think they know, I've found can sometimes not properly define it or aren't quite sure exactly what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to know that.
Yeah, so if you don't mind, I'm going to just take a second to define it. So essentially, registered apprenticeship is a long-standing, results-proven, nationally recognized training and education framework that is a way for employers to invest in their workforce and close that skills gap that we hear so often about. It's an employer-driven, learn while you earn, and that's key, structured training model specific to an occupation, an industry, and the actual job site and employer that's building the program. An apprentice is a full-time paid employee from the start of the program. And programs can last anywhere from 1 to 6 years.
Wow.
And they really, again, should be customized to the actual occupation, to the industry, and to the employer that's building them. And that's very, very important that they can and really should be customized. There are some key elements and components, obviously, that are found in all safe and proper apprenticeship programs, but they really must be customized. And that earn-as-you-learn piece, in my opinion, is really what sets apprenticeship apart, because you don't have to take time off, to educate yourself, to develop, to partake in that career development. You literally are earning a wage at the actual employer that you will be at long term while you're getting classroom instruction, while you're getting hands-on learning with a mentor, and while you're earning multiple credentials.
Well, the interesting thing to me is we have this old-time image of an apprentice being a 14-year-old kid working for a cobbler and learning how to sew shoes together by hand. It's much more sophisticated than that. It seems like your office is sort of like the bridge between people who want to learn a skill and earn a living at the same time and the people who have that opportunity available.
Right. I mean, we really are charged with helping develop the programs and supporting the programs after that. And then we also want to connect the job seekers, and especially through the PA CareerLink systems. I know you've talked to PA CareerLink quite a bit. We want to make sure that those job seekers have apprenticeship, registered apprenticeship, and even pre-apprenticeship as a potential option, as an employment option and a career development option.
Mm-hmm. So how do people get involved? First, from the employer's standpoint, or the company for which these apprentices will be working, how do they get involved with your office?
Right. So typically, we are not necessarily serving the job seeker. Typically, if a job seeker would reach out to us, and they do all the time, one of the things that we might do is connect them to one of the local CareerLink offices, or we may also say, hey, here are some registered apprenticeship opportunities in your area. We may help them kind of analyze their skills and then figure out what registered apprenticeships would be a good option for them. But again, if once a job seeker finds the right potential registered apprenticeship kind of pathway, they would really be going through the employer to enter that registered apprenticeship because they are an employee, and we can help bridge that gap. We can be that liaison to the employer, but they would be hired from day one, and they would typically go through an interview process. Each registered apprenticeship program is a little bit different, but we would help bridge that gap. The CareerLink system can also help bridge that gap. We try to meet people, businesses, and clients where they're at. So we have businesses that reach out to us that have really no idea maybe what registered apprenticeship is, but want to explore it, and we help them potentially build a program from the ground up. We have businesses that reach out to us that maybe just want to create a recruitment pathway to their already existing registered apprenticeship. We have job seekers that, again, we would most likely connect to the CareerLink system or help analyze to some bit. But we have job seekers that reach out that maybe know exactly what they're looking for and want to know what the options are. Maybe they want to be an electrician or a nurse aide, and they want to know what apprenticeships are available, and we can certainly provide that. Or, if they're not quite sure what industry they want to go down, we can connect them to the appropriate resources to help with that, and then ultimately, hopefully connect them to a registered apprenticeship.
Well, we certainly can see why it would be so busy at your office. Now, 67 counties in Pennsylvania. Obviously, you can't organize yourselves with a county apprenticeship office for every single county. Do you do it by region then?
So this is a very, very good question. So we currently have regional representatives. I'm a very small team. As of right now, we only have 2 regional representatives. But we are currently hiring, and eventually we'll have a Southeast representative overseeing some of the Philadelphia area counties. We have a South Central representative who really oversees kind of the South Central area, Lancaster County, Berks County. We have a Western representative that oversees most of kind of the Southern Alleghenies, Pittsburgh area, and then we have a Northern representative that oversees a lot of those northern counties. And they really oversee that geographical area, but then we also have some additional support in the central office that can kind of support programs and job seekers statewide as well.
Tara Loew is our guest. We're talking about apprenticeship in Pennsylvania. She's with the Department of Labor and Industry, and she is the director of the Apprenticeship and Training Office for Pennsylvania's Department of L&I. Tara, I'm sure that your office has been open and operating long enough that you're able to get some feedback about how the program operates and is how effective it is being. Are there changes that you make based upon some of those feedback points, or has the office pretty well been running smoothly all along?
Well, in the past year, we've made a lot of changes just kind of internally. We've made a lot of headway. I call it kind of rebuilt our foundation a little bit, ultimately with the goal of supporting potential apprenticeship programs and the job seekers. So I say that to say that we have a totally new revamped website that I think is a great resource. You can find the website by just simply Googling PA CareerLink Apprenticeship, and it should bring you to the appropriate page. And that is really just a landing page for all things apprenticeship. There are actually icons that you can click on that kind of designate essentially who you are and will give you pertinent information to who you are. So there's a job seeker icon that you can click on. There's an employer or potential program lead icon that you can click on. And then there's a workforce professional icon that you can click on. And that will give you tons of resources and tons of information as far as, how to figure out what registered apprenticeship programs are available, how to start your program, how to get in contact with us, what we do, how we help you, what the benefits are of registered apprenticeship and pre-apprenticeship. So we've put a lot of work into that. We've created a lot of knowledge products, frankly. Our office is an arm of the Federal Office of Apprenticeship, but it's important to note that Pennsylvania is what's known as a state apprenticeship agency. So we honor everything that the federal government says, everything that the Federal Office of Apprenticeship says as far as the guidelines for apprenticeship, but we take it even a step farther. And Pennsylvania has our own set of standards and guidelines, and we have a registration process that is unique to our great state. So we created a lot of knowledge products around kind of those Pennsylvania-specific processes and that Pennsylvania-specific information because we thought that was so important.
Yeah, it sounds like you put a lot of work into this. I'm looking at that website right now. It's tremendous. Tara Loew has been our guest here this morning. Are all those people that you kicked out of the office to do this conversation, are they all peering in the window like, why did she do that?
They can't. I have an outside window, but no window into the rest of the office. So they may be listening. I'm not sure. I should have asked them to join me. Yeah, but they were excited. We're a really passionate team, and we have really great people on board, and we obviously believe in this model and want to bring it across Pennsylvania.
Terrific. Hey, Tara, thanks so much for spending some time with us. It's been fun.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, and thank you to all the listeners.
It's the voice of Indiana County, WCCS. WCCS.